Aha! The Wolf of Wall Street, released in 2003, and is directed by Martin Scorsese, who's directed such other films like King of Comedy, Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, Casino, Gangs of New York, The Aviator, and The Departed. And this film is starring Leo DiCaprio, Jonah Hill, Margot Robbie, Matthew McConaughey, Kyle Chandler, Rob Reiner, Jon Favreau, and Jon Bernthal. Jordan Belfort is a young stockbroker on Wall Street. However, his first day on the job is the legendary Black Monday, where all of the stocks fall like crazy. I don't know, I'm not an economics person. So while trying to make a living, Belfort goes to this small independent stock exchange company where he's able to make 50% commission on terrible stocks and terrible companies. And Belfort takes advantage of the system where he starts earning about $50 million a year. So the Wolf of Wall Street follows Belfort in his rise to stardom and rise to riches, but also taking a look at his fall from grace when the FBI comes a-knockin'. I remember 2013 Oscar season. I was trying to watch all of the Oscar films because that's what you did back then. I remember my wife was out of town. This was playing, like the last showing was like 10 o'clock at night. So I decided to go to the movie theater, and I'm sitting there. I'm kind of in the front row because it's a small theater. And I'm watching it. I'm having a good time. I'm excited to see Leo in this. I know it's a 3-hour-long movie, but you know, I love movies. And within the first 2 and 3 minutes, Leo DiCaprio is snorting cocaine out of a hooker's ass. And at that moment, I looked in front of me, and there was no one in front of me, and I just slowly looked over my shoulder just to make sure that there wasn't a weirdo in a trench coat in the back corner watching me watch Leo snort cocaine out of a hooker's ass on screen. It just would have been a terrible and awkward movie viewing experience. I probably would have kept on watching though because I paid for the ticket. But that is the perfect embodiment of this film. You see everything. There is so much that happens in here. Things that you're like, wow, that should not be rated R, that should be rated NC-17, that should be X-rated. We shouldn't be seeing that in public, and yet this actually did happen. What do you do when you make more money that you could possibly spend in a year and you have no idea what to do with? You do stuff like that. At least that's according to this movie. I mean, I don't know. I don't make anywhere close to that, but gosh damn it, because of this movie, I want to. That's the crazy thing about this film, is that it shows unapologetically this asshole of a person, this terrible person taking advantage of all of these people and all of these accounts and all of their money, but yet you can't help but want to do that same thing. I want to make money like you because look what you can fucking do. You can buy a mansion, you can buy horses, you could buy a yacht, you can buy anyone. You can have anyone and anything at any point. And gosh darn it, doesn't that seem tantalizing? This movie is a perfect example of how money is the ultimate seductress when it comes to the world and the evils of this world. It's frickin' money. Money is the root of all evil, and yet you can't help but just want all of it. And this movie is 100% the Leo DiCaprio showcase. This man was robbed this year of winning Best Actor in a leading role. The man should have won it. And how irritating is it for Leo to know that the person who actually won it that year was in the first 15 minutes of this movie? In that dinner scene, there's Matthew McConaughey. All right, all right, all right. It's hard going back and watching it knowing that he won over Leo, because it's like, no, Leo deserved a win for this. He's so freaking good. The way he's able to keep up that Brooklyn accent, the way he's able to do the most heinous, disgusting, disturbing, just devilish things in this film, but yet you can't help but root for the guy and go along with his story and be intrigued what happens to this guy next. He made me shake my head. He made me jealous of him. He made me revolt him. He made me frickin' cry. There is a scene in here where he's about to go because the FBI is on his case, so he's about to leave everything behind, get a nice little big settlement. He's gonna be still the richest, one of the richest people on the planet, and he decides to stay, and there's this long monologue that he has that had me bawling in the theater, and it had me bawling reviewing it for this film. Like, son of a bitch. I shouldn't be caring about you because you're making a dumbass decision in staying when you should be leaving. It's the smart thing to do. And yet here I am in tears, and I'm like, yeah, man, you stay. Stupid. stupid, stupid, and stupid. Also seeing Leo DiCaprio overdose on Quaaludes, I mean, that's Oscar-worthy right there. Seeing him, Three Stooges pratfalling style, fall downstairs, get into a car, try to talk on a payphone, try to drive home, is freaking hilarious. It's okay, he did the same thing the following year with The Revenant, and then he won Best Actor for it. So, you know, versatility on his part. Jonah Hill is also here, and he's hilarious. He has this creepish grin, this creepy neon white teeth, who's the instigator for all the drugs into Belford's life. I love his introduction and how he gets involved with Belford. He goes up to him in a diner and says, wow, that's a really nice car. You know, how much money do you make? Belford says, well, I made $72,000 last month. And Jonah Hill says, okay, if you show me a pay stub for $72,000, I quit my job and I work for you now. And that's how they got involved. That's how they became best friends. I just love that story. That's great. You can tell this is a Scorsese film. It deals with crime. It deals with money. It deals with drugs. It has a lot of F-bombs in it. Actually, I think this movie sets the record for the most amount of said in a film with 506. I believe that's the number. And you can tell there are moments in here where Scorsese, that like there's nothing written down, and he wants these actors to be so embedded and so turned on with their characters that he just turns the camera on and lets them go and lets them talk. There will be long periods where you can tell that the actors on screen are just riffing for like 5 minutes straight, and then all of a sudden we get into the actual point of the scene and what we need to accomplish and what's going to move us on to the next thing. But for a while there, like, we see Leo and Jonah Hill talking about how Jonah Hill's character marries his cousin. I guarantee that was all improvised. This movie is 3 hours. It doesn't feel like 3 hours at all. The editing is great. The pacing of this movie is great. It clips along and moves along. You're never bored. You are always engaged with everything that is on screen. It is funny. It is dramatic. It makes you cry. It makes you laugh. It makes you disgusted. It's a telling of a story that is very unapologetic of how far and how fast the fall from grace was for this guy. And along the way, they'll try to educate the audience of how stocks work and what they were doing and how it was illegal and what this number means and what this thing in stock marketing means. But eventually Belford breaks the fourth wall and says, you know what? Don't worry about it. You don't need to know all the technicality stuff. All you need to know is, was this legal? No, it wasn't. I like that. I like the education bit up to a certain point, because for the general audience member, I mean, I'm not gonna understand what these numbers mean times that and math and all that stuff. Just make it nice and simple. Oh, this is all legal? Okay, that's all I need to know. Wolf of Wall Street is a ton of fun. It's not for everybody. There's a certain audience out there that would love this movie, and there are other people out there that would absolutely hate this thing. I love it, though, for the great performances. Margot Robbie is introduced to the world in this film, and she is just freaking stunning. Let's just get that out of the way first. But she's able to hold her own with acting legends like Leo DiCaprio and comedic geniuses like Jonah Hill. This is what set her on her path to the amazing acting journey and performances that she's had over the years. This movie's great. It is one of my favorites from 2013. I think it should have won Best Picture that year, and Leo DiCaprio definitely should have won for Best Actor. I'm going to give The Wolf of Wall Street 4.5 out of 5 Blu-rays.
It's good. It's good.
Alright everyone, now because my favorite part of my video is where I pick which movie I'm going to be watching next, and this weekend a big blockbuster is coming out, the sequel to one of the original blockbusters to bring everyone to the seats back in the 80s, Top Gun Maverick. A sequel that they've been talking about doing for a good 30 years. Too bad we couldn't have gotten it when Val Kilmer was in his prime, but now it's just the Tom Cruise show, so I guess we're gonna have to make do. I reviewed the first Top Gun film, and it's fine. It's a cheesy 80s film that relies too heavily on like 1 or 2 songs throughout the entire thing. So hopefully this sequel has a more vast soundtrack to it. Probably not, though. You have to have Danger Zone and Take My Breath Away somewhere in there. Hopefully I can check it out this weekend. If not, we'll just select from one of the random movies that I have, and we'll put that review out on Monday. So guys, if you've seen The Wolf of Wall Street, what did you think about it? Or if you've never seen it before and you stumbled across because of this video, then comment below, let me know what you thought about it. And as always, if you like what you see here, if you like my take on movies, then hit the subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell. See you the next time I release my next movie review. So guys, I will see you next time on the channel, but in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.